In part 2 of how to sew a Hmoob Lees shirt and shay, we'll show you how to put together your shay to wear. First, you want to fold your fabric over so that it's double layer. Then you want to pin your pattern pieces in place. I like to pin mine right next to each other. And that way, when I cut them out, I only need to make one cut down the center here. Just saves a little bit of time. So remember that each piece calls for two. So two of the bigger ones and two of the smaller ones. What I'm going to do is mark them right away, two B's and two S. So two big ones and two small ones. That way I know how to differentiate them later. You want to start with one small in the center, and then you want to take one big and pin it down on one side. Once you have one side done, you want to take the other big piece and pin that to the other side of the small piece. So now when you open it up, it looks like this, and you're going to go and sew both sides. Once you're done sewing it, you want to iron this out. So I like to iron the seams out to the sides. So all the bulky fabric underneath is going out to the sides. Once you're done ironing, you'll have one big piece. You want to take the last small piece and pin it to the edge on one side, and then pull over the edge of that small piece onto the other side and pin that down. And then head over to a sewing machine and sew it together. So you'll see here that it's all sewn together and it's created a tube. You want to make sure that you iron down the seams that you just sewn. And again, the same process, you want to flip it inside out and iron the seams going out to the sides. Once you have the sewing seams all ironed down and nice and flat, then you can go ahead and iron the sides to make sure your shay is now nice and flat. And to do that, you want to make sure that it's as straight as possible before you press down and iron it flat. Next, you want to close up the bottom of your shay. And to do that, you want to flip it back inside out like this. And then pin it together at the very bottom. And since you've already ironed it, you can see where the iron line is. You want to start there, pin it, and then pin all the way across. Head over to a machine and sew it down using a 1/2 inch seam. And here it is, you've got the bottom sewn down. What you want to do here is, this is a tip, you want to cut away the fabric at the very corners. Don't cut the thread, but cut the fabric off so that it's not bulky when you flip it over. That way you'll get a nicer, crisper corner, not a bulky corner. So here we are, flip it back over to the good side. And here's another tip, use a pin and pull out the corner of your shay so that you get a nice crisp corner. Then what you want to do is iron the bottom of your shay so that it's nice and flat and it'll look straighter too. This next part we didn't include a pattern for, but it's very simple to do. To add a band to your shay so that you can actually wear it, you can take any leftover fabric that you have, cotton works best, and take about a 3-inch strip by any length that would fit your waist. And then what we're doing here is ironing about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch on each side, and then folding it over again, and then ironing it down flat. So you could do this with any extra fabric you have. 3 inches by 40 inches, 60 inches, whatever will fit your waist. So with that piece completed, you'll want to find the center of the waistband, open it up, stick your shay into it, and then pin it down so it closes everything up nice and neat. This is our way of doing it. You can find any extra fabric and just tack it onto your shay if you have it. So what you want to do with this kind of waistband is sew all the way across the bottom where the opening is. And when you get to the shay part, you just take out the pins and sew right across, and it'll close everything up nice and neat. Here's the shay all completed with the waistband. You can see it's nice and neat and ready to wear. And here is our Hmoob Lees shirt completed. Now you have a whole set that you can wear.